Hello everyone. A lot of you already know me, but if you don't, my name is Darryl Pickett, and I've spent the last 31 years here in Central Florida as a writer and an actor for the theme park industry. But today I've got another story to tell you, and I'm going to call it
Westward Ho the Darryl. Help me relocate and reboot.
I've set an ambitious goal for this GoFundMe campaign. Here's the too long didn't read.
I believe it's time for me to leave Florida and return to my place of origin, Albuquerque, New Mexico. I have supportive family and friends there, a place to stay as I get back on my feet, and best of all, I believe I will find better job prospects in the Duke City. I've already started networking. I also know I'm asking for help at a time when my Florida community is going through unprecedented hardship. Thousands of people in my industry who have enjoyed lifelong careers at the major parks are now jobless for the first time. Others like me who work in the gig economy have found ourselves struggling harder to find work or even just afford basic needs.
For me personally, the struggle has reached a point of crisis, and I am a writer, but this is one of the toughest stories I've ever had to write. Still, it is a story, so please come along for the journey.
In 1989, I left my home in New Mexico and headed out to Orlando without much of a plan. Just lots of childhood memories of the Disney parks on both coasts. I was already a performer and a writer. I dreamed about someday using my creativity to make an impact on those places I loved. After several unforgettable years at the park we then knew as the Disney MGM Studios, my dream actually came true. In 1996, I began work as a show writer. That means I contributed not just scripts, but creative concepts, names, interactive content, and much more. In particular, I got to help out the core creative team in the months leading up to the opening of Disney's Animal Kingdom. In 2001, I was part of a widespread layoff, and my time as an official Imagineer came to an end. But before too long, I had the opportunity to come back as a creative consultant. I consider the years between 2003 and 2011 to be my most productive as far as high-visibility Disney projects. At the same time, I consulted for other firms in the area and broadened my portfolio. Through all of this, I kept finding acting jobs as well. More recently, I have been employed by or consulted for some of the most prestigious independent design firms in the area. I've had remarkable adventures and probably learned more in the last 7 or 8 years than I did in the first 20. And yet, year after year, it's been increasingly difficult to achieve stability in this fast-changing market. I won't dwell on the negatives. During this year, my best local colleagues and associates have provided me with good, interesting work when they can. But they face challenges as well. Things are slow right now. Like many, I have been aggressively trying to find stable, full-time work. Like many, I've been collecting rejection emails. I'm constantly underwater, and the outlook isn't too encouraging, at least not for the next few years. As I mentioned, I believe a return to Albuquerque represents a better hope. The film and TV industry is still growing, and even now, active production is gearing up. There are sure to be ancillary and support jobs appearing around that kind of activity and growth. And there are many other industries and possibilities in that city. It's much larger than when I left it 31 years ago. It's bigger than Tampa, in fact. And from my new location, I can still continue working with my excellent partners and colleagues from this area. We have all learned that distance is no longer a barrier. As long as we have Zoom and Wi-Fi, anything is possible.
With that in mind, let's proceed and take a look at the needs and goals of this particular GoFundMe campaign. Westward Ho the Darryl!
First, I simply need to keep the lights on and stay functional as I move ahead on these efforts. There is plenty of urgency to this basic level need, enough said. Second, I must have my car worked on, both to fix some present minor problems and to make sure my 2002 Honda CR-V remains roadworthy, both on the way to my destination and to get me around once I arrive. Next, I'm looking to provide these two with veterinary checkups and then seek the best way to get them out west in safety and comfort. Because, just look at them. Aww. Finally, and most importantly, I've got to cover as many of the moving expenses as I can, including trailer rental, mileage, storage, and shipping, and all the other things that go with relocating to a new home a couple thousand miles away. I am asking for help at a time when many of you, my friends and colleagues, are also in dire need. For those of you who would like to contribute but can't, I understand. You can help by simply sharing this campaign with others. Or if you prefer, just reach out with words of encouragement or suggestions and contacts that might help me in this effort. For those of you who are in a position to help, please share my story with others as well, and I'll do my best to keep everyone updated and bring all of you along for the adventure ahead.
In any profession, it can feel risky to show oneself in a place of disadvantage or vulnerability, but at this unprecedented time in our history, I'm not the only one. I know that there are a lot of you out there that find yourself in the same boat. So I share this crisis with some exceptional people, and to all of you, I'd like to say, let's not lose hope. There's resources that we don't anticipate, and I think we're all going to land on our feet. It might be somewhere that we don't expect, and we don't foresee it right now. For a long time, I've said that in all of my 31 years in my career here in Central Florida, my greatest accomplishment has been building up this extraordinary network of exceptional people, colleagues, and contacts. So, if you've been listening to my story, I want you to know that you are a big part of that network. And your listening means the world to me. Thank you.